Welcome back to Alchemize Soul 33. I'm your host, Destiny, and this is the place where we take the chaos of the external world and transmute it into inner gold. We find the soul in the system, the spirit in the struggle. Today, we're talking about something that feels almost absurdly practical, yet is charged with deep anxiety for so many of us. We're talking about money. Specifically, we're talking about how to keep the lights on, put food on the table, and maintain some semblance of stability when the world feels like it's actually on fire. We're talking about how to pay your bills during World War III. Resilience, resources, and radical adaptability. Now, before your nervous system completely short circuits, let's take a breath. When I say World War III, I'm not just talking about kinetic warfare with tanks and troops. For our purposes today, World War III is a metaphor. It's the feeling of a multi-front collapse. It's the supply chain disruption, the hyperinflation, the cyberattacks that freeze your bank account, the climate refugees at the borders, the political instability that makes your industry crumble overnight. It's the sense that the old rules are gone and the new ones are being written in a language that we don't understand. So how do we, as conscious individuals, as alchemists of our own souls, navigate this? How do we move from a place of scarcity and panic to one of grounded strategic resilience? That's our mission today. We're going to break this down into three main pillars. We have the inner game, rewiring our relationship with money and survival. We have the outer game, the practical, adaptable strategies for income and resources in a disrupted world. The community game, why your network is your net worth, and how collective resilience is the ultimate alchemy. Let's dive in. The first casualty in any crisis is our sense of calm, rational thought. When the threat is large and vague, like a global conflict, our amygdala, the lizard brain, takes the wheel. It screams, "There's not enough. Hoard, protect yourself, fight or flee." This is a survival mechanism, but it's terrible for long-term financial planning. The first bill we need to pay is the one of our own nervous system. This is the alchemized part of Alchemize Soul 33. We have to transmute the lead of fear into the gold of clear-eyed action. It starts with a simple but powerful reframe from "I am a victim of this economy" to "I am resourceful, participant in my own survival." When we feel like a victim, we freeze. When we remember our agency, we start looking for doors. Think about it this way. Money at its core is just a symbol of exchange value. It represents your time, your energy, your skill, and your attention. In a stable world, that exchange is predictable. In a world at war, the forms of that exchange change, but the fundamental principle does not. You still have value to offer. The journal prompt for you right now, maybe pause this and just ask yourself, what am I truly afraid of losing? Is it the money itself, or is it the safety, the dignity, the control that the money represents? Often, when we identify the core fear, we realize there are other ways to secure that feeling of safety and dignity that don't solely rely on a traditional paycheck. Resilience, it isn't about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear, acknowledging it, and then taking one small grounded step. Anyway, the inner game is about building that groundedness so you can play the outer game effectively. Okay, we soothed the lizard brain. Now we need to feed the human. Let's talk tactics. How do we generate the stuff we need to pay bills when the traditional 9 to 5 might be disrupted, devalued, or destroyed? The key word here is adaptability. The old career advice was find one good ladder in climate. The new advice is learn to build your own scaffolding anywhere out of anything. Here are 4 practical strategies for the new landscape. The skill stack for a post-stable world. Don't just rely on one skill. If you're a graphic designer, what happens when your client's business go under? You need a stack. Your core skill, what you're great at, like writing, coding, carpentry. Your survival skill, a skill that is always in demand, especially in crisis. Think basic medical knowledge. Stop the bleed, like food, growing, gardening, foraging, or repair, fixing things instead of buying new ones. This isn't necessary for income, but it reduces your need for income. Your barter skill, a skill that creates tangible value, like baking bread, mending clothes, sharpening tools. These are the new currency in a community. Identify recession-proof and conflict-proof niches. Sadly, some industry boomed during instability. Think about it. Security from cybersecurity to physical security consulting, infrastructure and repair. People will pay to keep what they have running. Electricians, plumbers, mechanics, and tech repair specialists become invaluable. Information and analysis in a sea of propaganda and confusion. People will pay for clear, trustworthy information. Could you be an analysis in a specific niche? Wellness and mental health. The anxiety is real and pervasive. Coaches, therapists, and wellness practitioners who can offer tangible relief will be sought after. Localized production as a global supply chains falter. Local producers win. Bakers, craft brewers, candle makers, small-scale farmers. The multiple income streams reset. We've all heard this advice, but in a crisis, it's not just about having multiple streams. It's about having streams that are not all correlated. If your income is from a salaried job, stock, dividends, and freelance clients in the same industry, and that industry collapses, you lose everything. One stream should be a location independent. Can you do it from anywhere with an internet connection? Online consulting, digital products. One stream should be hyper-local. This is your community anchor. Selling goods at a local market, teaching a class at the community center. One stream should be asset-based. This is something you own that produces value. It could be a rental property, but on a smaller scale, it could be a tool you rent out, like a carpet cleaner, or even digital assets like an online course you create once and sell many times. Resourcefulness over resources. This is the ultimate lesson. We've been trained to be consumers. We need to be producers and repairers. Learn to fix your phone, your clothes, your appliances. YouTube is your university. Learn to grow, even if it's just herbs on a windowsill. The act of creating sustenance from dirt is profoundly empowering. Learn to preserve, canning, drying, freezing. This allows you to buy in bulk when things are cheap and not be at the mercy of supply shocks. Now, we talked about the inner world and the individual actions, but here's the truth. The hyper-individualistic culture doesn't want you to know. No one survives a crisis alone. Resilience is not a solo sport. It's a team sport, and the teams aren't built in the middle of the crisis. They're built now over cups of coffee and shared meals. This is the community game. It's moving from I to we. Think of it as your personal mutual aid network. It's not charity. It's strategic relationship building based on shared values and reciprocal support. How to build your resilience pod. You got skill inventory. Get to know your neighbors and friends. What are their skills? Maybe you're the great accountant, but your neighbor is a nurse, and your friend across town is a mechanic and a hunter. You don't all need to be good at everything. You just need the collective to be good at everything. Shared resources. Do 5 houses on your street each need a 300 snow blower? Or could you all pitch in for one high quality one and share it? This frees up capital for other things. Tool libraries, seed swaps, community freezers. These are the infrastructure of the new economy. The barter economy. Start practicing now. Trade a website update for a few home-cooked meals. Offer to babysit in exchange for gardening help. This builds trust and normalized exchange outside of the formal, taxable, fragile monetary system. Emotional support pod. This is just as important. Who are the people you can call when the news is overwhelming and you're scared you'll lose everything? Who reminds you of your own strength? Isolation is the enemy of resilience. Connection is the secret weapon. This community game is the deepest alchemy. It takes your individual resilience and multiplies it exponentially. It turns a group of scared individuals into a resilient, adaptable, and powerful collective. So here we are at the end of our time together. We talked about a heavy topic, but I hope you're leaving feeling more empowered, not more scared. Paying your bills during a metaphorical World War III isn't just about currency. It's about a currency of resilience. It's about paying the bill of your own well-being with the currency of self-awareness. It's about paying the bill of your livelihood with the currency of adaptability and new skills. And it's about paying the bill of our shared future with the currency of community and mutual support. The alchemy isn't in pretending the fire isn't there. It's in taking the heat of that fire and forging yourself into someone who is more adaptable, more connected, and more alive than you were before. Your action step for this week is simple. Start a conversation. Talk to one neighbor, one friend, or one family member. Ask them what skill they have that they're proud of. Tell them one of yours. Just start weaving the first thread of that resilience pod. Thank you for joining me on Alchemize Soul 33. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone in your community. Let's build this network, one conversation at a time. I'm Destiny, reminding you to stay grounded, stay adaptable, and keep alchemizing.